In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the news regarding 2K26. Mike Wang has been tweeting a lot. We're going to read all of the tweets he's come out with, and I'm going to react to them. So this is going to be a catch-up video and a yap video, so buckle up. All right, the first one. Will there still be RNG in shooting? Mike Wang confirms no, there will be no RNG in shooting. There has always been some element of RNG in every past version of NBA 2K, including 24. NBA 2K26 will be the first version of 2K, completely pure green window. On pro or lower difficulties, you can still make whites, but otherwise it's green or miss. Okay. That's interesting because I think we all thought there were pure green windows before that didn't get affected by RNG in past 2Ks, but Mike Wang is confirming that this is going to be the first completely free of RNG shooting year for 2K. I'm really excited for that. And if you know my channel, you know I'm also excited to lab how much offensive consistency is going to affect that green window. Next tweet. Are there instant greens in NBA 2K26? This year we made the jump shot cellies and shot feedback dynamic based on the quality of shot. It factors in the shooting ratings, defensive coverage, and shot timing. Honestly, it just sounds like the better quality of shot, the more you're going to be celebrating, so that's cool. I like that if it's kind of contested, meaning it's a close game, you're not going to be doing as much celebrating. It's kind of be like, you know, why am I celebrating in a close game? Because I already would see that as a pro-am player. I don't want to be celebrating on every play. That's why I disable a lot of my jump shot celebrations every year. Moving on. Are there different shot meter options? All the shot meter options from NBA 2K24 and 25 are available to choose from this year, including the new default meter you saw in the courtside report video. That's cool. I'm gonna turn my shot meter off anyways, but that's really cool. I wonder how much that'll affect. I'm really more interested in the meter as it pertains to dunking than I am for shooting, to be honest. Are there any changes to the contest system? There have been a number of changes to contest system logic. Listen, every year they say they rebalance the contest system. This is one of those tweets where, for me, my reaction to it immediately is we just have to see how it plays out during the year. This year, I can tell you I had a lot of fun on my 6'8" build with Legend Deadeye. I felt like shooting over people was a lot of fun. I had a 7'3" Hakeem Olajuwon build I shot over people with. I love how height worked this year for shooting over people. I hope it's somewhat similarly tuned next year. I hope, you know, I didn't feel like the ghost contests were a big thing this year like they were in previous years at least. I hope when they tune it, they just tune it a little bit. The contest system wasn't that bad to me this year. I mean, there's a couple of things I want to be better, but we can go into more detail about that later on. Are there any changes to how adrenaline bars work? Adrenaline will function very close to what you saw this year, but there have been some minor tweaks. For example, if you spam too many escape moves in a short amount of time, it will drain a bar. This could be really good in limiting spamming of dribble moves, but honestly, it could also be really bad. I don't want to lose a bar just because I'm comboing up. Again, one of those things, we got to see it in action before we really judge it. Could be really good or really bad, depends. Is there still a high-low risk reward? We already know, he confirmed. No, everyone's on an even playing field. So there's not any levels to it. It's just everyone's on the same level. It's green or miss in higher difficulty game modes. That includes your layup timing as well. How do height/attribute restrictions work for custom layups? Height and rating restrictions are similar to NBA 2K25 for the new custom layup packages. So if you qualify for a specific player's layup package in NBA 2K25, you'd qualify for all of that player's individual, normal, reverse, quick scoop, floater, etc. in 2K26. I really love that. I'm super excited about custom layups. I'm gonna make a whole video just devoted to custom layups later on because I'm the best layup player in the community. It's not even close. So I'm really excited to bring y'all some great information about that as the year goes on. Can you use a quick protect even without a defender reaching on you? Does it use adrenaline? You can use quick protect at any time, even if no one's around, and it does not consume adrenaline. As a big guard, primarily a big guard every year, I really love this. I can't wait to make some type of, two-way point guard build like a Paul George, like a LeBron, like a LaMelo, like a Carmelo. I don't know, some type of scoring, defending build, that's just like a hooper. I'm really excited for that and to see how that plays out. Are there any changes made to addressing L2 dexing? We've made efforts to reduce the unrealistic motion cuts that can result from dexing. Attempting to use dexing to cut back and forth repeatedly will consume adrenaline. I like that they said repeatedly. Like as in to say just one cut, it's not a big deal. If it's multiple cuts, that's when it's going to use adrenaline. I don't mind if a dex, like you cut in really hard, cut back out really hard, uses one adrenaline bar. That's not necessarily a bad thing, honestly. I just don't want, if I'm running around the court off of screens in a continuous motion, I don't want that to use adrenaline. Just stamina. Can anyone do a quick catch and shoot, or does it have to have attribute/badge requirements? Anyone can perform the quick catch and shoot mechanic. There are no restrictions. So this year they said if you hold L2 before the ball hits your hands for catch and shoot, you're not gonna dip the ball down anymore. It's just gonna go straight up with it. Kind of like the way Batum was shooting the ball. If you all saw Nick Batum on the Clippers, the way he was shooting it towards the end of the year, and they're saying they model it after Klay Thompson this year. I'm excited about it. Some people are saying that's already been a mechanic in 2K. I don't know. It's not something that I've been doing consistently. I do know that holding L2 in 2K, they already mentioned in previous years, and I can confirm I do this. It helps you set your feet quicker on the breaks. Sometimes it even helps you get better catch animations if you're holding L2 while you're running. Just throwing that out there for y'all. Are there any changes to dunking? Yes, holding turbo and the pro stick down is how you meter dunk in 2K26. This will also encourage more flashy dunks, but you can also get flashy dunks on the shot button if you're wide open with no trailing threats. The meter dunk logic has changed a lot, and you'll notice a much bigger green window on open dunks, both driving and standing. I mean, that sounds good. Hopefully it plays out well. Again, I don't know. My reaction to this is I saw this year they said something about that was very similar. I think this is one of the worst years for contact dunks ever. 2K25 is one of the worst years for contact dunks. I used to be a pure slasher back in 2K19. I used to be in the comp stage. I used to play a lot of like the top players as a pure slasher. This year, like there's no viable way to be a pure slasher and dominate in 2K25 because the dunk meter is too inconsistent. And that goes back to the whole RNG thing. And we're just gonna have to see what that looks like in terms of dunking this year. So, yeah, just gonna have to see what that looks like. Can you explain how rhythm shooting works? Can I still green a shot with early or late timing? Rhythm shooting is basically all about mastering your jump shot's unique tempo. There is still an ideal timing point for when to push the pro stick, but you don't have to green the timing to make the shot. However, the better you time the release, the more wiggle room you have to match the tempo. The timing of the right stick movement and the speed of the stick throw will also affect how the animation plays out. So if you start the push early or throw the stick fast, you'll see the shooter rush the animation. If you delay your push, you'll see the player hold the set point and hang a bit before starting the shooting motion. And if you throw the stick too slowly, you'll see a lazier looking follow through. It's great if you need to intentionally rush your shots to beat a closeout or low shot clock, but your green tempo will be much smaller. You know what I'm actually thinking about when I read this tweet is I wonder if we can now do those like Michael Jordan hang shots, where you just hang in the air, you wait for the defender to jump by. Those Dwayne Wade, like I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna hold the ball a second. Kobe Bryant, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna hold the ball a second. They're gonna fly by, and then after they fly by, then I shoot it. If that's in the game, and you have like a much smaller green window to do it, and you can pretty well, like if you practice, you can control when you do it, I think that's great. I think that adds a level of skill to shooting that I think has only been seen in dribbling in past years. I would love shooting to be like as difficult as like the top levels of dribbling are, or at least like in the right hands, if you understand what I mean by that. It's complex. Anyways, how does rhythm shooting and button shooting compare? The goal was to make both rhythm and button shooting viable options. Basically he's saying rhythm shooting is going to be more rewarding, but they're going to be very similar this year as opposed to last year. Are there any changes to dribbling besides the new controls for signature size ups? Dribbling has changed a lot, thank God. Branching and chaining moves will generally feel more responsive, and you can interrupt more moves than you could in 2K25. We made an effort to make dribbling faster and the inputs more responsive as well. You'll find some great new content as well as the return of some old favorites, Pippin's behind the back wrap. So I think the dribble heads will be able to create some nice highlights this year. Well, that's lovely, Mike Wang. I appreciate you. I think dribbling was also the worst in 2K25. You know what's crazy is I don't think 2K25 was the worst 2K, even though I just said dunking was the worst and dribbling was the worst this year. I don't think this was the worst 2K. This is one of the best 2Ks for contact layups ever. And I'll talk more about that later too. I just hope the dribbling, like they said, is completely revamped. I don't like everything being a hop jumper to have to dribble. I don't like that style of dribbling. I like that you can do hop jumpers and then dribble out of it. I think that's good. I just don't like that you have to do that, you know, like on taller guards. Like that's whack, you know, or even on smaller guards. Like a lot of it was like the Kyle Lowry or like the Jordan Clarkson or whatever. There's a bunch of different, you have to like hop jump in certain situations to get animations. It's like, I'd rather just be able to like dribble, you know, do an actual dribble move, a crossover behind the back. Bring back, oh my God, what was I gonna say? Bring back misdirections. They had misdirections in 2K23. I remember them. They were so good. They had misdirections, I think, in 24 as well. 25, you couldn't do a misdirection on purpose. Why not? I don't get it. Bring back misdirections, please. Since double tapping circle/B is a wrap pass now, can you still do flashy passes? Yes. They've been moved to cross plus circles, that's X and circle on PS5, or A plus B on Xbox. Self alley-oops are now mapped to square triangle or X and Y. I mean, that's interesting. Again, anything that makes the game more, like gives you another tool in your tool belt, I think that's really good. I mean, they can say they put wrap passes in the game manually, and if they work like how they should, that's a huge W. I'm so excited. I actually run a whole set called the T set, where you dribble down court and you have the center wait in the dunker's position, and you do a wrap pass. Once the center plays help side defense, you wrap pass down to your center and dunker position. That would be perfect if it works well. But if I'm like throwing wrap passes the way I would like a falling out of bounds pass, where it's like you're throwing it in barely, or you're like throwing it off people's bodies still, or there's a way to glitch so the defender can play both you, like jump at you, but you also, like if you pass it, you like throw it at his body, like it's gonna be whack. So it has to be done right. It's one of those things. If you don't green a rebound, can you still get it? What happens when two people both green a rebound? You still grab a rebound if you don't green it. I don't want to talk about this tweet too much. I think this green rebounding thing has gotten in people's heads. Guys, it's the same thing it's been every year. You gotta time your rebound. It's always been like that. All they did was just add a little light that you're gonna see now when you do it right. So just adding like a feedback for you to understand the game better. Same thing it's always been, in my opinion, unless they add a badge to also go along with it, which they haven't talked about yet. But unless they bring a rebound green machine in, this is kind of irrelevant to me. It's the same thing. Is the size of the green window different for no dip compared to regular catch and shoots? The green window for quick catch and shoot shots are the same as regular shots. It's possible this could change in the future. I think that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. I think it'll already be a little, like shooting faster shots is already more difficult anyways. I don't think the green window has to be smaller for that. I think it can be the same. Yeah, good stuff. Have there been any changes to baseline sensitivity? Yes, there was an improvement to address the baseline sensitivity, especially when attempting baseline layups. Thank goodness. I couldn't do anything baseline this year, to be honest with you. And if I did, it was kind of like, it wasn't really a baseline, it was more like I was running along the side. And I don't know how to say it. Like, I like to almost be like, when I'm doing a reverse layup in previous years, I like it when my player was like jumping out of bounds, i.e. like a Julius Erving, and wrapping it around to the other side. Like, those layups were always the cleanest to me. And this year it felt like there's no way you can do that, because if you even get breathed on the wrong way, you're gonna be out of bounds. And it's like, that's pretty whack. Can we pull the chair when being back down in the paint? Yes, you can pull the chair in the post by tapping circle/B when the offensive player makes contact with you. Good, I'm glad. Will there be a boost to turning off the shot meter? Turning off the shot meter will slightly increase the size of your green window, same as it's always been. That's awesome. Can you cancel out of the new go-to post shots? For the post go-to shots that have a dribble, yes, you can cancel like regular go-to. That's interesting. So there's gonna be some you can and some you can't. Like, some are gonna be no dribble, you have to either go up with it or do a post fake, and then some you can dribble out of. I'm excited to see when some of these other people who lab stuff like this kind of put some really cool things together. You know, I'd love to see like a Kevin Cruz video about go-to post shots and how to really, you know, lab that the right way. I think that'll be exciting. Are there any changes to Pluck Steels and Lane Steals? On-ball steal targeting and steal animations have been improved to reward defenders who position themselves well and anticipate the dribbler's moves. The canned animation Pluck Steals have been almost entirely disabled. We'll see about that. Pass interceptions have been tuned a bit, but are similar in effectiveness to 2K25. It sounds good. We'll see. And we won't just see at the beginning of the year, we'll see halfway through the year. We'll see after the first month, really, how it is. We shall see. Can you do no dip catch and shoots in team control modes? Yes, in team control modes you can just by holding L2 or LT, that's great. Are there any changes to bursts and changes in direction for ball handlers? We spent some time tuning the dribbler's ability to start, stop, and cut. The speed and tightness of changing direction will vary based on ratings and dribble style. That sounds good. I hope it's better than it was this year, is my comments about that. Are there any improvements to standing dunks? We've reworked the logic for standing dunks to make them more reliable for bigs who aren't too crowded under the rim. We've also retuned standing skill dunks to have generally larger green windows to compensate for how fast most of those dunks are. That sounds really interesting. I know some of my center friends are going to be excited about that. Do motion styles have an effect on gameplay? Oh, I'm so glad somebody asked this question. Yes, motion styles are driven by pro play just like dribble styles. Some styles will naturally be quicker and more explosive than others. For NBA 2K26, we've added rating gates, so they need higher attributes to equip the more effective styles. I'm not gonna lie, Mike Wang just confirmed that some of these people that test motion styles and say they don't do anything for your player other than just like how fast you are, he kind of just confirmed that they are like not testing the animations fully. Which has been a lot of us, I think, in the comp pro-am community already knew that. Like, there's certain motion styles you can put on to help you rebound better. So it's not just how fast you are up the court off the ball. It's also like, I've gotten better block animations with certain motion styles. I want to say I feel because I don't want to say it's a fact. I haven't tested it fully. I don't want to be that guy. I just feel very strongly, I should say, that some of the styles make me even feel smoother on offense. Like when I pull up for jump shots, when I'm going for certain animations, it doesn't change the animation, just makes it feel like it's smoother. Like i.e. like a Carmelo style over like an Alex Caruso style. Just throwing that out there. Are there any other new passing controls? Another passing feature added for NBA 2K26 is contextual auto lob passes. With this new auto lob to moving passes, controller setting enabled passes. Wait. Let me reread that. Controller setting enabled. pressing the normal pass button, cross or A, or icon passing will throw lob passes to moving receivers in situations where a normal chest pass would be more prone to getting intercepted. Advanced playmakers who only want to throw lobs by pressing triangle or Y will want to set this option to disabled in the controller settings menu. Okay, everyone, pay attention to this one right here. Whatever is going to allow you to have more control over your passing, you're gonna wanna set that setting. So when he says advanced playmakers who only wanna throw lobs by pressing triangle, you wanna disable this in the controller settings. The first thing I'm going to be doing this year is disabling that in the controller settings. I don't want the game to throw a lob for me, nor do I want to throw a chest pass for me when I don't intend it to be. I want full control over my passing, just like I'd want full control over my dribbling, my shooting, my layups, everything. So that's all the tweets that I see out right now by Mike Wang. Those are my reactions to it. I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm gonna get back to posting more consistently. I just got back from my honeymoon and wedding in the Philippines with my beautiful Asawa. Very happy about that. It went really well. Shout out to everyone for sticking with me on this channel. I know I've been inconsistent a lot as of late. I've just had a lot going on in my life over this last year and a half, to be honest with you. But things are starting to get put in order, and I'm really excited. So thank y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, I'm out.